My name is Dorinda Luzardo, and I'm the founder and president of Angels Reach Foundation and Academy and Trinity Christian Academy. It was a wonderful day for my children. We were able to bring children with a number of different functional levels. We had some children who were more involved in their difficulties or their challenges related to autism. We brought a child with Down syndrome, and we brought children who are typically developing, children who are advanced learners. We brought children with Asperger's, children with learning disabilities. So in other words, we brought a big range, including children who have some emotional and behavioral challenges. And it was wonderful to see them all being able to interact and to play together.
I thought the games were actually really innovative. I've never seen anything like that before, at least like in a pop-up style, you know, where you can kind of set it up and kind of let them go for it. I thought that the interactivity of the activities were really good, like with things moving around spatially, working on their timing and things like that, and seeing the success of being able to like maybe hit the bugs on the bug squash game, or when they're doing some of the excavation activities in the sandbox, being able to see that their actions are actually making things happen. And so it's like reinforcing for them to keep going, you know.
I saw one particular student of mine who is very sensorial. She doesn't allow her people to touch her hair, things like that. She gets very overstimulated very easy, and she was able to play with the sand pit. She loved the sand pit. She, identified, there was this one game where the balloons had different colors, and she was able to identify the colors, and then she had to pop the balloons. There was another one with the numbers. She was able to, tell me 1, 2, 3, but also use her hands, because this particular student always has her hands like this. So she really enjoyed it. I did see a change from when she first got there to after. I saw after we finished, she actually was playing on sitting down on the floor. She wanted to touch different materials and different things. So it really, really opened her up. So that was incredible. Our kids need more things like that to get them more engaged and more focused, and just, to better themselves, not even just academics, but socially. And it really, with her in particular, really I saw a big difference.
My name is Natalia, and I'm autism mom. I have a son. He just actually turned 8 years old, and he's on the spectrum. So he has autism, he has ADHD and OCD. So when we find out about you guys, to me it was just wow. I'm a biggest fan of reflexes and baby reflexes, the one that has been not integrated. So my biggest go-to is make those games or more for integration process. So let's say if the Mora reflex is not integrated, or Galant reflex, or fear paralysis, which is great, it's like a huge deal. We can adapt those games and make the kids do the moves that will help their reflex integration process. I think that's going to be huge.
And I also like that whether the kid is neurotypical or neurodivergent, they don't like doing work. Kids don't like doing work, but this was incorporated in a fun way that doesn't feel like work, but it's actually helping for like rehabilitation or learning new objects or just learning in general.
Mm-hmm. He prefers to move as little as possible. He prefers to just be kind of sitting down, as little movement as possible. But the game, I showed him like, hey, this is how we do it. And he seemed really excited after it was shown to him, like, this is how we play. He seemed excited, and he was actually sweating. I had him take off his jacket. This is a kid that never sweats, doesn't really do sports. He'll throw a single ball and then kind of be done. But he was continuously engaging in something, which shows me that he enjoyed it, right? So I think that's really good, actually. I think he really enjoyed that.
The floor pad was pretty cool. I think that one was the most easiest to engage, just because it didn't take too much thinking, because it's more like, okay, you see the objects and you can actually physically put yourself on those places. The water pipe game, I think, was the coolest one, where at least my client, he responded most to it, because I think it was, he likes to fix things. So when he sees things that are broken or not working properly, he wants to investigate it. And so I thought that was a really good exercise for him.
I see so much potential. One of the greatest strengths of what I'm seeing here is the adaptability. So in other words, the technology that you're able to bring together can not only provide a calming environment when it's needed, but that same technology can adapt and provide a very focused or a more excitatory type of environment. It allows children to work on social skills, on communication skills, on sensory regulation, on fine and gross motor skills, on bilateral coordination. There's just so much that the technology can do.
My name is Emily Bobadilla and I am 10 years old.
Very good. What did you think about the games when you first walked into the room?
I was excited. I got on a cardboard, do a lot of stuff, but then went to the sand and went to the big screen.
Very nice. Did you have a favorite game?
It was all of them.
The kids played together. Some of the kids don't see each other throughout the day because we had different age groups, and so they were able to play with one another very well. The teamwork was there. We had our 7th grader helping our 1st grader, and the 6 grades in between, and he helped him, and they played this one particular game where they had to throw the ball at the ghosts, and they loved it. They played with each other very well. The little one was learning how to request for the ball, and so the bigger kid was helping, with that as well, and manners and things like that. And so he was able to guide the 1st grader on how to appropriately ask, but also appropriately play the game as well, because they loved playing with the ball and throwing it against the wall. That one particular student that I mentioned earlier, yes, she was very especially with the sand pit and the animals and the different colors, and she was very much involved with that. She did a lot of good behaviors that I hadn't seen, and so she came out of her shell a little bit.
Very nice.
So
Okay.
yes, I want to say about 5 of the kids that were here have a diagnosis of ADHD, and they did very well. They stayed with it and they were focused on it, and so yeah.
So our children with ADHD responded very well. They were the first ones to be more impulsive and just try to hop around, but it was so entertaining for them. In other words, the activity was so engaging for them and so familiar that they were able to quickly structure themselves so that they could make the game productive. The generation of students that we are teaching now, it's not just for special needs, but this is just across the board, they learn very differently than we learned when we were in school. These generation of students have grown up with a smartphone in their hand. So they really do need to learn in a way that is more interactive and more engaging. This technology allows them to go into that kind of video field that they're so familiar with, but they're not just going into it with their thumbs or with their hands. They are physically bringing their whole body into the video field. So that is amazing, not just for their retention and their understanding of the concepts that might be introduced on an academic setting. I'm not even thinking now of the clinical setting, but in an academic setting, this kind of technology would engage an entire classroom at different levels at the same time, and you have the byproduct as well of also engaging the students socially and developing appropriate social skills and appropriate language and communication skills. So our children with ADHD felt very comfortable. It was as if they were walking into a video game and they themselves were the actual avatar or the participant. They didn't need to have a joystick in their hand or something like that to participate. So it was wonderful, yes.